Adventure. It's a fun.
Going down.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cannonball Statman.
Your first book first knows more about you!
When I call the master servant, we find it for the unknown consent. I'm spinning at the table.
I'm not crazy!
You read the dream of the man in the vampire suit. You thought it was real, cause he wasn't a stranger world. Oh, that's the came and was covered. He took it off, left it in Hoboken. I've had stranger dreams. I've had stranger dreams. I've had stranger dreams. Between you and me. By from the government. He says he wants to know your name cause he already does. He's taken to the motel in the center of town, drinking nothing of me with his alien brain and his sights are set on you. I'm not trying to woo. And your friends are for the laugh about it. Cause it's I've had stranger dreams. I've had stranger dreams. I've had stranger dreams. On the streets of San Francisco, I went for a walk with an old friend of mine. The world was strange, the sun set, I was 10 years old, my face fell into the dirt, the trees were different, dancing, birth into death, pregnant architecture, and it was all with every old fellow in his chihuahua screamed in my direction. My name is Rupert Murdoch.
Get off my fucking lawn! I said!
Said a man walked into a train station and just started and all the emperors of infancy sat and stared at everything or something, becoming nothing. A subway masturbator in the corner popped off. I said, what it is when it isn't, even when it isn't. Slipped and flew. It is what it is when it isn't, even when it isn't.
Down in the hell! Oh!
I'm not crazy. Woo! Thanks everyone. From under portrait on this hall floats up the light river over the living room to the happy near of a perennial lush. Every day I quake like a death raga, riveted by the arriving flesh side. I'm lost in that. Every man in New York City has conduct disorder. Everyone is twisted by now. Up East Houston Street and channeling an angel. Excuse me, do you know the way to the library? You know the library on Jersey Street. It's a string! I'm channeling an angel walking up East Houston Street. Thanks everyone for sticking around. Brendan Perdomo's gonna come up and steal this microphone from me. This next song's about the temperature of my mind, which is cold. It's called My Mind is Cold and I Am Somebody. Our world is ignorant by an evil being. It is exposed stomach which quaked in fear of his associated mind. More than 15,000 adults segregated. I was given pills of various shapes and sizes of this opportunity to manipulate my mind to a state of maximum warmth. When the pills proved ineffective, I turned in a 72-hour letter to the director of the hospital. I was promptly discharged, and it was advised that I have no further contact with anyone I'd met on the unit. What happens on 13 South stays on 13 South. Many failed attempts to reduce the temperature of my mind. The doctors on with 13 South proved themselves to be both weak and incompetent as human beings and medical professionals. And though my mind remains at a steady temperature of 12 degrees Fahrenheit, far lower than that of the average American, I was often noted for the warm presence I brought to the otherwise cold and critical environment of the unit. In the hours leading up to my discharge, I borrowed a number 2 pencil from the nurse's station. And in an empty space on the wall in the 4-bedded room I'd called a home the past 10 days, I wrote, reach the other side! And the grass is now green. And from within the confines of your prison, the mind is cold! I am somebody. To the tourist lost on the bridge, and I told him he wasn't that lost. To the man who inherited the world, and I told him he wasn't that rich. He tore up my portrait of Nurse Ratchet, and I kicked him in his eye, and he ran, and I left, and I said, wicked, to the man who was tougher than the walls of the prison, in the background, singing, when your mind is cold, when your mind is cold, you're somebody, you can be everybody. I'd like to thank you for having me tonight, but your mind is cold. Yeah. Will you excuse me? I'm just trying to find the bridge, the Brooklyn Bridge. We're talking about the bridge. Woo! Yeah. Thanks everyone. This is Brandon Perdomo on flute. He just played with Charles, and now he's playing with me. Charles, I stole your flautist. I hope you don't mind. I'm giving him back in a few minutes. Does anyone know this story? About 3 years ago, on 2nd Avenue in East Houston Street, I'm coming home from the open mic here on a Monday night, on a Tuesday morning, on a Monday night, at 3 in the morning, on a Tuesday morning, on a Monday night. Does anyone know this story? I'm walking up East Houston Street, walking west on East Houston Street, up towards 2nd Avenue, where I'm trying to catch the F train. It's on the southeast corner of 2nd Avenue and East Houston Street 3 years ago at 3 in the morning, on a Monday night, which is also a Tuesday morning, coming home from the open mic here. Wild night. This guy Carlos, this old guy named Carlos in a wheelchair, his name's Carlos, he's in a wheelchair. He's sitting on the corner of 2nd Avenue and East Houston Street, the southeast corner. You all know where the F train is at 2nd Avenue, right? The southwest corner. I'm waiting for the stoplight, and this guy Carlos, this guy in a wheelchair, this old guy, he sees my guitar on my back, and he's like, take out that guitar and play me a melody. So I did, I'm like, and he's like, yeah, do that again, like 10 more times. He's like, yeah, I can sing to that. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna play this, and you're gonna sing to it. He's like, Okay, I'm gonna sing this song. This song's called This Guy's on Fire. This guy's on fire! And I'm like, okay, I don't know what that's about, but you're gonna keep singing that. And he's like, yeah, I am. This guy's on fire! And so I asked him about that, and he's like, you know Alicia Keys? Does anyone here know who Alicia Keys is? Yeah. Okay, cool. Apparently she has a song called This Girl's on Fire. This guy Carlos had a giant crush on this lady named Alicia Keys, and he wrote a song about himself called This Guy's on Fire. And he said that I came up with the melody to it, and that I'd be a one-hit wonder with this song. And I'm like, fuck that, I don't want to be a one-hit wonder. And he's like, well, too bad, you will be. And you're gonna start paying royalties to me when you become famous off of this song. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. 3 years ago, at 3 in the morning, I took the F train home to Brooklyn. I took out my guitar, which was very different from this guitar, and I wrote this song called Carlos is on Fire, and Alicia doesn't know that's written by me and not by Carlos. Carlos is on fire, and Alicia doesn't know, because she's famous as anyone I know. He's just an old man in a wheelchair, singing for strangers. Hope that one day he'll notice. Carlos is on fire, and Alicia soon will know. He's fire than anyone she knows. And I'm just a Cannonball Statman with a guitar. And I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready for this fire. I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready for this fire. So keep your cover out. I don't know how to use that. Save it for someone who really needs it. Well, this is on fire, and at least soon will know. He's fire than anyone else. Thanks, everyone. Brendan Perdomo. Charles, I'm returning your flautist. For now. I got a message, all it said was earthworm. Told me things inside my sleep. I got a message, it said, I really do love you, but I'll sleep with someone else. Someone else who I don't know. Someone else with you. I got a message, all it said was earthworm. Told me things inside my sleep. I got a message, it said, earthworm. Soon you will shoot my gun. Shoot my gun. I don't know. Shoot my gun at you. neighborhood, and I saw you in the street. I took a walk around Brooklyn, and I saw you in the street. Stared you down in blushing. When you told me how you got back on your feet, you said, take the red mouthwash, the green shade of fruit, take a walk around blushing, dancing to my dream. I got a message, all it said was earthworm. Told me things inside my sleep. Thanks everyone. I'd like to thank Alex P. and the management for putting up with my destructive tendencies on stage. Especially the mic stands for putting up with me. Speaking of putting up with me, this next song's a new song. It's called Hudson River. I've never played it on a stage before, unless you count someone's living room in my bedroom. Out of the sun, out of the blue, on Amsterdam Avenue. Vickers dozen red birds flew by you, screaming into your ears. Screaming, I know what's going on with you. It's nothing new, it's just that same old fractal repeating over your eyes, into your ears, on your hands. Vickers dozen red birds flew westward, and that's in river that day. Strange thought. But what do you do? When you gotta run. We're getting to the point where we can finally steal our hands back from the box. Of miscellaneous garbage stolen confiscatingly by the police. And it's not gonna be hard for the police, even though it's hard for everyone. It's a strange thought, but what do you do? When you gotta run. This scene is breaking down. It's time to pull the plug on the pull the plug on the neon cloud. Break it on. What do you do? This machine is breaking down. It's time to pull the plug on the neon clown. We're getting to the point where we can finally steal our hands back from the box. Alright. Thanks everyone! I'm gonna do one more, then Alex P is gonna play. Alex P has been running sound all night. Give him a round of applause for doing that. Charles Mansfield played right before me. He had the same flautist as me. He also had the same singer as Gold, or one of the 3 or 4 singers that they had. All 3 of those acts were amazing, except for me. But that's okay. Nivius was amazing, but I missed his set. Because I was in Brooklyn, teaching my clarinet player songs that my clarinet player probably already could have figured out very quickly. My clarinet player is not on stage with me tonight. I missed Eileen Velka's set. Someone else missed someone else's set. Debbie Dalton was fucking amazing. And so was John S. Hall. And Ray. Death Ray Brown. This song's called Cannonball Becomes the One-Armed Man. It's about that time my left arm got amputated. My friend got drunk at a poetry reading. We went down to Union Square. We were hungry like a New York City band. And I cut off my hand. It's true that my hands are like yes, my hands are real guys. The world was small, the size of a house, but the world was always out to get us. You're probably just another alive died. You don't trust that life. You're just another moving over the drive to be insane. Someone in the mind and I tell half of my heart. And I sold my art. Because only my tendons have been severing themselves. And I once was lost, now I'm found. Recently the surgeons have amputated my left arm. And the one on the right is as good as new. Dancing in the woods last night we saw a giant bat. I screamed, what the hell is that? You make some fucking noise. You've only got a few more years. Everything you do will outlive you. So make some fucking noise. I know you can do it. I'm the one-armed man. Even I can. Don't think you're safe.
Don't think you're safe. No one is safe.
From me. Don't think you're safe. I want everyone to be obese, so I can feed them to the parasite living in the shadow of the door to the room where I was handcuffed, beaten, and taken away by a group of rogue federal agents. Almost killed me completely, thanks to the dissociative fugue state that I'm in, and a lack of sleep and hydration. I am here with my guitar. Sing to you. 2, 3, 4. Hey, I'm the one-armed man. I can walk, but I can't talk. This will be your last day in the mud. Tonight, I'm taking you away. Infinity Anna. Hey, I'm the one-armed man. I can walk, but I can't talk. This will be your last day in the mud. Tonight, I'm taking you away. Random number and a hey, I'm the one-armed man. I can walk, but I can't talk. This will be
Your last day in the mud.
tonight, I'm taking you
Hey,
away.
way.
10, 5, 7, and a hey, I'm the one-armed man. I can
Walk, but I can't talk. This
will be
your
last day in the mud.
mud. Taking you away.
2, 3, 4. I'm mad. I can walk, but I can't talk. This will be your last day in the mud. Tonight, taking you away. Has anyone ever lost an arm before?
No!
None of you? Matthew Allen, you've
Never.
lost an arm.
Never.
Tim Flaney, you've lost an arm,
Nope.
haven't you? This is the lamest crowd ever. That was a compliment.
Oh!
I know you have a story about this, do you?
An arm?
Yeah, an arm.
My arm was, but I never lost it.
Mike's your head, everybody! So I lost an arm once. It wasn't that bad. You know why? It grew back after 10 milliseconds or less of being off. And I also had surgery and hand therapy for it. In 10 milliseconds, on the count of 3, for a period of 10 milliseconds or less, your arms will be removed by the force of gravity for a period of 10 milliseconds or less. That's the number 3. It's not infinity, it's not 2.5, it's not 3.5, it's 3. Repeat after me the number 3. Repeat after me the number 3.
3.
Brendan has it right. So 7, 7, 7, 7. If you don't have lungs, you can use your eye lungs. You can use Stephen Hawking. You can use Stephen Hawking all you want. You can use your eye lungs. You can use your eye lungs or your diaphragm or your mouth. Or your mouth. 3. 3. 3! Thanks everyone for sticking around.